Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So this is going to be the second official live stream. Today I'm joined by Joey Wheeler as well as Salem WFS, and we're going to be talking about all things Walmart, how to succeed on the platform in 2025. I still believe that Walmart is one of the top opportunities right now in 2025 and beyond. They're putting a lot of emphasis and resources behind the platform, and it's only growing. So what's up, guys? How are you guys doing?
Great.
Doing good, man. Doing good. Excited.
Yeah, so Joey, I saw some retail arbitrage wins on your Discord. How's that going? How's retail arbitrage on Walmart? What are you doing differently?
It's great. A lot of what I did when I was first getting on the platform was Walmart to Walmart flips. Really trying to figure out what sold on Walmart. The easiest way to do that for me was just to go in the store, get my hands on the product, and take a look at it, and then obviously kind of go through quantifying, a good buy. But you'd be amazed at not only what you can find on clearance, but there's a lot of things that Walmart offers in store that they don't sell online, which is an opportunity for you to buy things at full price. So it doesn't just have to be on the clearance aisle. So I think that's when you walk into a Walmart, obviously it's overwhelming because it's so big. But just kind of having a plan when you go in there, I think is the biggest key to success.
For sure. And I mean, as I get into it more, just learning from you, I still think that Walmart to Walmart is a very underrated and easy way. But there's so many opportunities, not just there, but also at other stores.
Oh yeah, I mean, TJ or Target had a crazy sale for President's Day over the weekend. Um, you know, up to 70% off on toys, and the same thing goes for Target. I mean, they have some things there that maybe not be on the Walmart catalog that you can buy full price and then turn around and sell it for a profit on Walmart.
Yeah, and are you often seeing that where like if the item's full price and you're flipping it on Walmart, or are you seeing it where you're able to go ahead and buy it more on discount? Like that's how you have to wait for.
I see both. It really depends on, I would say it's probably like 60% clearance, 40% regular price items for me. But it also depends on the category, and it depends on, what the stock is like. There's an item that could be limited edition. There's items that could not be available for sale online. There's items that could be from like last year. Right now, right, they're rolling out all of the new Jurassic Park toys for the movie coming up in July. So anything that's from last year's Jurassic Park movie or the year before that has been on clearance for a while. And I was in a Walmart, I think Tuesday, and I saw new Jurassic Park toys on clearance already. And those things aren't even going to really peak in popularity until July. So I think knowing the categories that you're going to be in, knowing what's going on around you, and then just tracking all of your data from all of your buys is going to be the biggest thing.
Yeah. And are you seeing that RA is going to die in any way, or do you think that Walmart RA it's just the beginning? It's still a blue ocean.
Oh no, I mean, I think the sky's the limit on there. I mean, I've done 90% probably RA for my entire e-commerce life, going on year number 4 now. So, I don't even do it at a scale that some people do. I mean, there's plenty of people that scale RA way above what I do. So I think the sky's the limit, and especially with RA, like you have to really hustle and grind and be out there to put up with traffic and to put up with people, and like there's also there's stores closed, websites never shut down, right? But there's hours of operation for every store you want to go to, so your time is limited, so you have to maximize that to the best of your ability. But there is a little bit more profit in RA if you do it right.
I feel like RA. I feel like RA is good. Like if you go really early in the morning or late at night, at least for me, because like you said, Joey, I would be in the clearance aisle and there's like 10 people walking past me, and I get frustrated. So like going at a key time of day is always fire too.
Yeah, I really don't like to go on the weekends, but like with this Target sale, like you just gotta get in early, hit it hard, and I'll try to hit 3 or 4 targets before noon. take a little break, grab some lunch, and then, hit 3 or 4 from like 5 to 9 or something like that if I can.
And what about that OA? Have you been hitting that?
I have. I mean, I'm probably, not as solid as you guys are with that. I mean, I do a little bit of OA here and there, but, Salem's been helping me out. I think I got a stack of maybe like 15 boxes over in the corner from OA this week. I do a lot of Amazon to Walmart flips using Flip Alert. I do some Walmart to Walmart. I think you got to be careful with that because you have to know how long to hold it so that you're not selling it below the price that you want to. And then a lot of times Walmart will come back into stock for things, and they don't share a lot of their data. So the stock that you get on like Sellify, Martyr, those things can change overnight. So you just have to be careful about that. But yeah, I mean, I think the opportunity is always going to be there to diversify. So obviously I'm trying to, when I diversified from Amazon into Walmart, and even into eBay, and then also trying to do a little bit more OA.
And it's really good to see just the new business models that come out. I see Salem talking about different ways with wholesale and brand direct that he's bringing. So I think all the ways that people are used to on Amazon, they're finding like new avenues, but not only new avenues, completely different ways of sourcing. So W to W, and just it opens so many doors. Salem, what's been the most creative way that you've seen or that you've personally done?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing for me is we're on a new platform, right? With limited data, as we always say. And we try to stress that because a lot of people are coming from the Amazon space where you have all this data, concrete evidence that it's selling XYZ, and for us, we have that, but it's not fully to the best, right? So we have to look at it with a grain of salt. So when I'm pitching to like brands, for example, I'm letting them know, hey, this is a very new marketplace. I could be your guinea pig, quote unquote. I don't know how, I could see you're pushing 1,000 units a month on Amazon, but I see that you're not on Walmart. Why don't we do like a test and see? I can manage it for you. Just kind of that way, because a lot of business owners are probably like Walmart, they don't really care about it. So until that traction kind of picks up a little bit more, I think it's a really good opportunity now to kind of consult them and inform them of the marketplace and how they could benefit from it. $75,000 in seller fee savings right now for referral fees. I mean, that's huge for a brand, let alone a seller, So
For sure. And it's really, I mean, honestly, it's amazing. I think when I first started, it was like 5,000, now it's 75,000. I met with the head of the solutions providers team, and I was like, where were those savings when I signed up? Or, can we get them today? They're just totally focused on bringing new sellers. I think it's just a massive opportunity. And this is actually something I spoke with Joey on his podcast. And it really got me thinking of like, with the Walmart clearance, does Walmart care when you go in and buy the clearance? But at the end of the day, it's a really big win for them because they get 15% on average of that sale. You're also reimbursing that store. So they're essentially, hopefully making their money back. They don't have to store the product. They're not paying for employees. So it's a win-win all around. And I really think it's just like Walmart is completely exploding with this opportunity right now. The one thing I do want to pivot to, and also for all of the viewers who are watching, if you guys have questions, please bring them. I have two really amazing Walmart entrepreneurs here who can answer about retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, wholesale, logistics, managing VAs. So any questions you guys have, we'd be happy to answer. But recently, a big thing that has impacted the Walmart community has been the IP complaints, compliance errors, and just the worry that Walmart is starting to look a little bit more like who shall not be named Amazon. So what are your guys' thoughts, or just, your feelings and where the market's headed, and where our new platform that we all love seems to potentially maybe be going down that road?
I think for me, not to talk about the past, but for me, I'm a little regretful because I have been on the marketplace for, over 2 years now. And I regret not going harder with certain things such as RA when I had the time and just other stuff like that. But I think it's a positive and a negative. Obviously, I always knew from day one, how lenient it was then compared to now. But I always knew that this was going to slowly come. But I will say, they do a good job informing us of, brands that are going to get restricted, allowing us to sell out, for example. But in this case scenario, I was a little, nervous, to be honest with you, when I saw, the email, but I only had one listing affected. But it just shows me that I need to diversify, like we're talking about, and kind of, rethink how I've been doing things the last couple years. Maybe some stuff's not working as well. So I think it's a good realization to make those changes in your business too. So
For sure. What about you, Joey? What are your thoughts on where this, all the recent drama?
Yeah, I mean the recent thing obviously was very concerning because in the past, like Salem said, Walmart's giving you a big heads up. Like, hey, you have 5-6 weeks, and we're going to lock these 3 brands down, whatever. I've got a couple letters from brands, and obviously I've taken my listings down, made note of it. So yeah, I mean, a little concerning that it's an issue, and then they automatically throwing out a 7-day suspension. I'd much rather have a 7-day suspension than a Section 3. But as Walmart tries to grow, obviously they're going to source their team members from Amazon. I mean, Amazon does it better than ever, or better than everybody, right? They have built out a logistics platform across the world, and they do what, 700 billion. They do 6 times what Walmart does online. So obviously, if Walmart wants to get better at it, they're going to source employees from Amazon. So there's going to have some overlap, just the way you have with eBay and some of the other platforms. I mean, there's going to be a lot of overlap. I think as long as you follow whatever business model you chose, keep your receipts, keep your supply chain if you're brand direct. Make sure you got those letters of authorization to sell. If you're doing RA, keep your receipts. Make sure you're taking your pictures of your products so they know they're not fake. Those are the only things you can really do to support your business and the decisions that you've made. But it could happen. I mean, I got deactivated on Amazon last year for about 8 days for an IP complaint that was 5 months old. I was trying to have it removed. They wouldn't accept my receipts. They wouldn't accept my action plans. And, they even told me themselves, hey, it's going to fall off in 6 months. You don't have to worry about it, and then 5 months later, boom, I'm deactivated. So I think you just kind of have to roll with the punches. Luckily, it's been very minimal, the amount of these letters that I've heard go out. So, but as they add more sellers to the platform, you're going to have people that are going to try to do things the wrong way. You're going to have people that are going to try to defraud Walmart the same way they do Amazon. I mean, there's reasons these rules and these regulations are in place is because somebody did something, and they're going to protect their customer at all costs because that's, in their mind, that's, who they service. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be a challenge like anything else.
Yeah, that's a great point. And at the end of the day, the marketplaces are going to hope, they're going to, in the end, obviously do what best is in their interest. I do believe that as sellers, especially right now with Walmart, we're in a newer phase. We have the opportunity to go ahead and help, hopefully, shape the marketplace. And they've been somewhat receptive. There's a really big person in the community, Sarah Ray, who meets with Walmart reps regularly. I've had contact with the team. I know that a couple of other creators also do. So hopefully they are willing to work together and to see our point of view and, have a due process. I'm all for kicking off bad actors. There's a lot of counterfeit. There's a lot of, specifically with Chinese sellers, I think over half the new sellers were Chinese. And there's a lot of hurdles, but hopefully, they don't punish the honest sellers. So we got a couple of people in here. If you guys have any questions, please let us know. Last chat was very fun, and we got some really good ones. So Charles says, any tips for sourcing Walmart OA? Joey or Salem, take it away.
I mean, for me, I have a VA who's been with me for a very, very long time since I started. We both didn't know anything together when we started, and he's very, very good. I do a lot of Walmart to Walmart, as we mentioned earlier. And I do want to stress that, yes, you do have to be careful, especially for myself. I don't have a storage unit or warehouse. I use prep centers. So if I buy something and it stays in stock or whatever, I could really hurt myself there. So just being cautious with it. There are a lot of times where I won't go deep enough and I'm like, dang, I should have bought more, but it's kind of just, how it is. But the biggest thing I would say is, Amazon to Walmart is absolutely fire. You really do have to be on it with that though. With the time difference with my employees, I wake up sometimes and might look at the leads a little late, and that limited time deal that they sourced, 5 hours ago is gone. And so you have to be really quick with those. And the biggest thing to keep in mind with the OA is, you have to use your top cash back, your Rakuten. You have to be aware of the sales, set up another email for your VA, putting in all of the promotional emails when you make a new account, and just being aware of the sales, like the Target sale Joey mentioned. I'm banned on Target right now, but someone came through for me. But the amount of money you could spend on there when there's a good sale is absurd. So just be aware of your sales, and source on top of your employees, and just really get good at sourcing a website.
Yeah, that was really good advice. It's it is true. That just shows you how big of an opportunity Walmart is. I told someone who's been doing OA on Amazon for a few years, and I showed him some of my leads, and he's like, "People are buying from Target," and I'm like, there's no tactical arbitrage. There's no tool like that yet. So the opportunity is just still so massive. For me, I was a complete beginner with OA. The first OA product I ever sold was on Walmart. And it was very humbling to relearn. The only way that I really learned was I did RA. I actually found Joey Wheeler and Chaz and all those guys, and I just went into Walmart. I sourced the clearance. I saw what brands were selling. I said, okay, Nature, what I think it was Nature Made or something sold. Okay, I sold this this coffee. I sold this Disney product. I sold this product, and then I sold the Lego. And I was like, okay, I'm starting to build an idea of what brands do well. Now I need to see how I can replicate it, but not really in store, but online. Okay, so what places carry Lego? Target does, Amazon does, Macy's, all these different places. And then it comes down to like which retailer is going to allow you to place the most, and where can you actually maximize your spend. And you don't have to do it at every retailer. You can rotate between retailers. Some retailers are going to be good some days, some are not. And that's kind of where having that diverse range of, you might only source the same brands, but you can get them from different sources. So we got a couple of people watching from New York, all the way from the Philippines. Joey, we're international.
Yeah, going big.
And if you guys have any more questions, please feel free to go ahead and put them down below. So I have $1,000 to invest. Do you think it's good to start, or do you think I need more? Joey, what do you say?
Yeah, I mean, I think the start is really not as important as like what your goals are, right? Like you can, if your goal is to make $10,000 profit, then no. But if your goal, if you have a small goal to start of like, you want to learn the platform, you want to do some test buys, you want to figure out how to build out a catalog, and you want to scale to, $10,000 a month, you can do that relatively quickly. I went from 0 to, I think my third month, within 3 months, I was doing like 35,000 a month. And I was still running, Amazon full time and doing eBay on the side. So I think as long as you have an LLC and you have your EIN, those are requirements that are a little different than Amazon. There's no fee to be a seller on Walmart, which is a little different. So you're going to save that money. And you're able to put $1,000 directly into product, then absolutely it's enough to start. I mean, I started 4 years ago on Amazon with $300 because I didn't believe the hype. I didn't believe, whatever. And so obviously once you start buying things, you start quantifying what a good buy is, you make some bad buys. I feel like you're going to learn more from your bad buys than your good buys, but then you start actually learning, and then you start getting some sales and you got proof of concept, then you'll be fine.
Yeah, that's a good answer. I mean, it's definitely not the least amount that people have started with. And I think that just start with the basics. Even just going to a Walmart, shopping your clearance aisle, you have enough to spend. And, if you spend all of that 1,000, that's also, again, I think starting small is also how you're going to learn without making too many mistakes. My first buy, I ended up returning to the Walmart because I bought it and it was a terrible purchase. So maybe not return. That's a controversial topic, but that 1,000 is going to be where you are going to learn. So he says he's doing okay. He's at least $3,000 a month in sales, but only has 1,000 to invest. That's perfect. If you're slow and steady, don't take on too much debt, and you'll get to where it does compound very quickly as long as you keep the money in the business. If you're not withdrawing it, then that 1,000 can go pretty far pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think the other thing too, Chris Grant told me a long time ago, never spend more than 10% of your capital on any one SKU or any one category or any one brand in case maybe something happens and it turns out that that's a bad buy. Like if you go and spend $1,000 on one thing and it's the wrong thing, then you just lost $1,000 and it's probably going to kill your business. So just be smart about it and take your time, learn the platform, and test buy everything.
Yeah, I was going to also add too, for David, like just because you have $1,000 doesn't necessarily mean you have to spend the full 1,000. Maybe you spend 500 on 3 to 5 products, for example, and see how that goes before you spend the rest, right? So it's definitely a pace, like slow pace. And when I started, it was a lot of money for me to spend $200 on an order, to be honest. Like it was just not, I was not comfortable with it. And 3 years into it, I'm just getting comfortable spending large amounts. So you really do have to build that within yourself. There's no time frame for it.
Low key, that still feels uncomfortable every time I spend like $100.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little better when you're getting that 2% cash back, though, right?
That is true. That rack in check. That does help. That's the one thing at RA you don't get that. I know you get discounts and cashback credit cards, but not having that top cashback.
Yeah, sleeper.
Charles says, okay, so thanks for the advice for OA. What would you guys? What are your opinions on storefront stalking? Because I saw Sarah Ray mention the new review pictures. Shout out Sarah, great Facebook group, and she also dropped the storefront name Drop Air. Okay, so a couple things to dissect there. Let's talk about storefront stalking first.
Yeah, I mean, I will say the one pro to storefront stalking on Walmart compared to the other e-commerce website is that it does show you out of stocks, which doesn't always help because, if you're doing OA, that sale might be done. But it does give you kind of an idea what the seller is selling, what their niche is, and see if you could pull anything out of that. So that's the one thing that I do look at. But I honestly don't storefront stock as much as I did with Amazon, personally.
Yeah, I mean, the one good thing, like Sarah mentioned with the pictures dropping, is like before with the reviews, you would only see like, oh, it's a 5-star review. But if you can go in and storefront stalk somebody and you see 10 or 12 reviews on the same item, then obviously that item's moving. Now you have to then be able to reverse source and find that item at a profitable price, which I think is a challenge. But it definitely can help. Drop Air is like a known drop shipper. You probably see them on every listing. I mean, it looks like they basically just buy directly off Amazon. But they've been on the platform forever, so it'll be hard to storefront stalk them in the sense of looking at their listings because they have thousands of listings. But if you look at the reviews and their verified purchase reviews from Walmart, then you can get an idea of some of their more popular items, and it may give you a little bit of a leg up on turn a little bit of a quicker profit. But again, you're going to have to, do the legwork on it. You can't just go to Walmart and type in Drop Air and pull it up. I think you got to have you got to find a listing that they're on and then do it that way. So it's not as easy as it seems, unless you just happen to scan something that they happen to be on.
Yeah. And one thing I will also say is that I learned this actually from Joey and another RA seller is when you are finding products. So you find a product, take note on Sellify as well as Martyr and Bizmetrica. You can download a list of all the sellers, download that list of sellers who are selling the product, note where you found it. So today I did some RA from Target. I found this item. I downloaded a list of all the other sellers. I've already noted all their stores, and I can roughly tell what is probably a Target item or an RA item. And whenever I do Walmart clearance, there are some sellers on Walmart who their entire business is just Walmart to Walmart clearance or just Walmart to Walmart. And I don't necessarily like storefront stock every item, but by browsing their catalog, maybe looking at like 20 to 30 items, when I'm in store, I'm not going to recognize it. But as soon as I'm not going to remember every item, but as soon as I see that item, I'm going to recognize it. So I saw a Minion item and I'm like, wait, I saw that in a store. Let me scan that. Turns out it was at $3 at the store, selling for $20 online. So like I would not have seen that because it was not in the clearance aisle if I hadn't looked at that storefront. So there's a lot of ways to maximize storefront stalking, but definitely with the new reviews, it does help. What's the best place to hire a VA and what's their pay rate?
From personal experience, there's people that reach out to you in DMs via Instagram, Twitter. I haven't had the best experience in the past. I don't recommend that route. I always recommend hiring someone who does not know the business, just to alleviate that worry of, sharing leads or not working when they're supposed to. There's other softwares that you could use to track employees, but they don't really like that. So I use PH Jobs, onlinejobs.ph, excuse me. And, you kind of have to be creative when you make an ad on there because there's a lot of people who are just going to apply to your, inquire without reading it. So you want to put like a secret phrase in there. Like, if you're reading this, put the word, banana or whatever in there, and then put it in the subject line to filter. But as far as the pay rate goes, you can negotiate with them. I always put them on like a trial for 2 weeks or so just to see how things are going, see if they're coachable is the most important thing. If someone's not coachable, it's not someone I'm going to work with personally because I'm going to turn them into a beast and provide, good constructive feedback. So you really got to do your interviews. It's basically a lot more work than what people think. And the one thing that I want to stress is that it is not a set and forget type of thing. You have to follow up with them, ask how they're doing, make sure there's no issues. There's a large communication barrier, within that. And me personally, if someone's working for me in my business, I'm very close with them. So when it comes to pay, I've paid very low, I've paid very high, and I do monthly bonuses as well. But it could go anywhere from $3 all the way up to whatever you want it to be. So hope that answers your question.
Yeah, that was good. Someone's asking if you can please add your name. So I should definitely put this. So now you can actually see it. So we should do this in the intro, noted for next time. But to my right, I believe, is Joey. So Joey, want to go ahead and introduce yourself and socials?
Sure. My name is Joey. My social is Joey R. Wheeler 72 on everything: Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, I think too. YouTube is just Joey R. Wheeler. I've been on Amazon. I've been on eBay for about 5 years. I've been on Amazon for 3.5. Been on Walmart. This is my second full year on Walmart. So
awesome. And Salem.
Yeah, my name is Salem. I've been doing e-commerce for 3 years. Been on Amazon for 3 years. Walmart for a little over 2 years. I also work full time, and I do OA for Walmart and wholesale and brand direct. I used to do all RA, but my job makes it pretty tough. But yeah, happy to be here. And my Instagram is Salem WFS right below my username here. And then I will drop my Twitter in the comments below.
Perfect. Yeah, and I think most of the comments are from my channel, but we are trying to stream to Salem. We're trying to get him to be monetized on YouTube. And then once we get Joey, we can have all 3 channels. But yeah, my name is Noah Mincis. I've been selling online for about 8 years now. I sell on a lot of different platforms, primarily wholesale, brand direct. I just noticed a massive opportunity for Walmart. I think they're doing a lot of things right for sellers, and that's what I want to be a part of that. Yeah, so definitely noted to do that on the intro. Still rusty with the live streams, but if you guys have any other questions, be sure to go ahead and put them down below. I think now is actually a good time to introduce. So me, Joey, and Salem, we've all been selling on Walmart now for a bit over 2 years, and we've all found success in the platform in different ways. And we've come together and we've really networked, and we've also formed other connections with other sellers, and we've formed like a strong community around the platform and playing ideas off each other, best ways to source, new policies that come out, marketplace changes. And during that time, we had the idea of why don't we go ahead and form together to actually go ahead and basically make kind of like a training or a guide on how to sell on Walmart. So that's where that idea came from. And then we did all these streams to test it out. And I think we provide the people a lot of value through all of our different nuances. Joey's really good with retail arbitrage. Salem works a full-time job, does online arbitrage, and then he also does wholesale. And then, with me, I'm trying to provide brand direct as well as OA and some other insights. But together, we aim to kind of fill all those gaps. So with that said, we are going to be doing a live webinar on the complete Walmart playbook. So our guide for this webinar is to do about an hour to 2 hours content on the complete guide for selling on Walmart in 2025. So we're going to be going over sourcing. We're going to be going over getting your account started. So it's basically going to be beginners as well as more advanced sellers. And I'm going to be posting the link right now. Actually, that's the Twitter link. Give me 1 second. But yeah, so this is just going to be a completely free webinar. You guys can sign up, and it is limited to 100 people. So we will be promoting it throughout the week. Whoever is on the live stream gets first access to sign up. And let me post the link. Technical difficulties. There we go.
We'll provide a lot of sauce for sure.
A lot of sauce. The value will crash the internet. And the link is in there if you guys are able to see it. If not, let me know. Okay, so back to the regular scheduled questions. Can you sell on Walmart with just Martyr?
Yes, Kiera, you can. I personally only use that in the Walmart Seller app, and it does just fine. It just really comes down to the user interface. There's a few apps out there. It really just comes down to which one you prefer. I always recommend testing all of them out, see which one you like the best. But that is all you need at this time, in my opinion. There are some other stuffs coming out as well.
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on the method you're going to use and the money you want to put forth. I use Scan Power just because I like to see the same item comparatively between Walmart and Amazon to see which platform I'm going to sell it on. But Martyr is great. It has a decent scanner. It can be a little bit slow, but it has an ability to add to a buy list and upload that buy list. When you get back to your house, you can send that buy list to your VA. If you're doing OA, you can Sellify. Has a lot of the same features, and it is a little bit cheaper and can be a little bit cleaner for OA. But again, you just got to find what works for you. I think at the end of the day, you got to have the Walmart shopping app, because especially if you're going to do RA, because the price on the box is never the price that it is. They change price so many times, they don't necessarily always update the sticker. So you want to make sure that your buy cost is where it should be. So that's one reason why you're going to need that Walmart shopping app.
That's the OG app. It's completely free, and also it's the fastest app out there. Nothing is even close to how fast that scans.
It's clutch.
All right, let's go ahead and see. We got some more questions. If you guys, if you have any questions, don't be shy. Just pop them in there. We got another about 27 minutes, so we're all here. We're all here to answer your questions. Okay, so David says, I'm about to get an LLC online. Question: why do I need an agent every year with that specific agent or any other? I assume he's talking about the registered agent. I'm not sure if you guys have that in your states.
I don't believe I do, no.
I do, but it's my accountant, so I feel like that's probably, they have to have a point of contact for the business with the state. So if you don't want that to be yourself, then I would just set it up either as, if you have a business attorney that like monitors your thing, or you have an accountant. But yeah, my accountant is mine. So
yeah, I think mine is it myself, or I think it's one of them is to myself, and then I have another business where I did it through LegalZoom, and I did it, but it's required by the state. You have to have some form of a registered agent. It's a state issue. It's not like something that you can change or. Okay, so I'm looking forward. And thank you for joining. Again, the link is inside of the chat. We're going to be going over Walmart to Walmart. So me and Joey, as well as Salem, have been experimenting with just different ways of sourcing on Walmart. And we're definitely going to be doing more webinars going over how to source. I, in particular, have been loving not just retail arbitrage, but there are so many ways to sort in Walmart because you can go ahead and you can do online, but you can also do for pickup. And that's just a great way to kind of double dip. And this was actually Joey who taught me this. So I'll let him speak on this in 1 second. But you can find items available for pickup that are not available for shipping in your area. And the buy box is so regional. And what I mean by that is like it might be available for shipping in California, but not near New Jersey where I'm from. So it gives me an opportunity to go ahead and buy that item in my local Jersey Walmarts, ship it into WFS or fulfill it myself and get the buy box here. And also you can schedule it for pickup at your Walmarts. So this way, when you already go there, you already have a solid lead as your base, and then you're just going to be sourcing around if that's what you want to do. So Joey, do you incorporate that into your sourcing in any way?
Yeah, for sure. I think, obviously you want to, anytime you can make money before you get to the store, it's great, right? So if they have a great online sale that's available for pickup, the one thing that's great with when you're in store mode, you can see the price in the store, and then when you click on the product details, you can see what it's selling for online. But what you can also see is if Walmart.com is not on that listing, and then you can also see if it might be out of stock online. So the Walmart shopping app is really goated in those types of information. So if you can find something that's not available to order online, you can literally order it from Walmart for pickup, go pick it up, and then list it while you're there, sell it fulfilled, and you could get a sale while you're on your way to your second store. Does that happen often? It probably happens more often than you think if you really take the time to make that part of your sourcing strategy. And it's the same can be said for Target. The same can be said for all retail stores that have pickup available. There's nothing like going in, picking up, because a lot of times they're going to have a limited quantity, right? They might only let you get 5 or 10. So there's nothing like picking up 10, 20, throwing it in the car, and then grabbing a buggy, going and grabbing 20 more. So I think if you make it part of your process and you get good at it, it can really change the outcome of your daily spend and profit goal.
Yeah, and once you like get that first store and you get a sale, it like pumps me up to where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna hit this other store that maybe I didn't want to. You know what I mean? It kind of gives you that boost to keep going too.
Absolutely. And basically do everything that you can to just give yourself a base. There's no worse feeling than sitting down to source for 2 hours, 3 hours and not finding anything. So even if you can just take the little home runs, it just gives you it just keeps you in the game. I think it just gives you something to hold on to. Price of course or mentorship you are launching. So we're just gonna be doing a free webinar and we're gonna be talking about selling on Walmart. And we are gonna be launching our group. But all of that information will be announced on the webinar. Yes, registration in Georgia. Yeah, so that might be a Georgia state specific question. Okay, so we got some people registering. Awesome. Look forward to seeing you guys there. We're going to be talking about brand new ways for sourcing, how to go ahead and add additional profit to your Walmart business. As we talked about in the beginning, selling on Walmart is brand new. It's been around for years, but the space is constantly changing. And just like Amazon, when I started in 2018, there was completely different ways of selling. I had never even heard of Keepa. I started with private label actually on China, and then I found wholesale, and then later I found OA and then RA. So kind of did like a 180 there versus Joey, who started with Amazon on RA. Now he's crushing it on Walmart, and he has 3 years experience with that, and he's doing over 6 figures a year on the platform. And then we also have Salem, who works a full-time job and still manages to do over 50K per month on Walmart and still also sells on Amazon. So we're going to be going over all of our methods. Each of us does different ways of selling on the platform. But again, there's so many different ways that we hope to go ahead and on that webinar, go over different ideas to give you something to start with. So you can incorporate, maybe you don't take the full idea, but you incorporate it into like a different way that you source for Walmart. NJ in the house. I know Salem posted today. Everyone's in Florida or New Jersey.
Literally, I'm the only one in Ohio.
Here's someone from Texas. I want to do wholesale on Walmart. Do I need an LLC? What else, please? guide quickly and rough budget of about net profit of 2K. So Salem, I'll let you take this one.
Want to do wholesale? Yes, you do need a LLC to open up a Walmart account along with the business EIN. And if you are doing wholesale, they will require that you have a resale license and have all your ducks in a row. So you would 100% need to do that. As far as a budget to get you to 2,000 a month, I don't really know off the top of my head. I mean, you'd probably have to spend at least 1,300, maybe a little more, a little less. I would recommend starting off maybe doing RA just to get the process down before going in the wholesale. The problem with wholesale at Walmart right now is that due to the lack of data, there are a lot of wholesale items that you could buy that move well, but it's a little bit harder to dissect the catalog when you don't have as many data points as you would on Amazon. So I would say start slow, get some momentum, learn the platform, learn the flow, and then get into the wholesale. But you are going to want to open all of that up before starting anything. So, yes.
Yeah, one thing that we didn't touch on either is they don't require, but they prefer a storefront. So you can use they really are trying to go after Amazon sellers. So you can use your Amazon storefront, you can use your eBay storefront, you got to have a Shopify storefront if you have one. It's not necessarily an automatic decline, but they prefer that you have online sales history as well. As far as, I mean, RA, I mean, you could do $8,000 a month in sales and make $2,000 in RA, but everybody's margins are different, and it's all about how you might, if you want to buy and get there quicker, you might have to do $10,000 to make $2,000. It really just depends on your business model and how you're quantifying the buys that you're making. If you want to take less of a profit and you're just trying to get to build your catalog to get to that number, you can do it relatively quickly, but you really have to test buy everything and then go deep. That's why, like Salem said, RA or OA is probably best to start. But there's some stuff coming out that can help you at least scan massive amounts of UPCs from possible wholesale sheets pretty soon, I think.
Sooner than you think. So yeah, I mean that's all great advice. As with Walmart, test. I think that somebody said to me, like, why do I keep hearing that? It's because it's true. With Walmart, they don't give us that data point blank. I've spoken to multiple Walmart execs and employees, and they said that they're comfortable with the amount of data that they share. That is their status quo. If that changes, that'd be great. But at the moment, it really is just a guessing game. Even if a listing is selling, let's say 100 times per month consistently, something can change. Something can change in the image, the title, even just the sellers, like the offers. If it changes from being WFS to then all of the sellers are seller fulfilled, something that small can change the sales volume. So really, everything is all about testing. Salem, what type of podcasts? Oh, sorry, not podcasts. What type of products are you selling? Are you selling podcasts on Walmart?
He would if he could. You're on mute, buddy.
Wow, that's embarrassing. Alrighty. I saw a pretty mix of everything. I saw a lot of toys during Christmas, obviously, and then I have a lot of health and household items. And then regarding my brand direct, it's like a allergen kit type thing. So I'm selling that, but I am actively exploring new categories. My capital is kind of strapped right now for once for the amount of POs I've been doing. So I have my team kind of sourcing different products and trying to see what that looks like. But those are the two that I focus in. One category that I do want to go into this year is grocery. There's a lot of grocery distributors near me, and that's not like the biggest niche that I've dove into. So I'm looking to get into that as well.
Yeah. Why creating Walmart store on Pakistani passport-based LLC is very hard, just like impossible. I don't know if any of us are able to answer that. Walmart is selective with where they accept. I don't think Pakistan is actually a country where you can open it up for the United States. I might be incorrect on that, but that would be a question to reach out to Walmart and see if they can help with. It's still a new marketplace. They're growing. I know they're added. Recently they added China last year, so they are adding more countries for international sellers, and hopefully I know a lot of international sellers provide tremendous amount of value to Amazon and other marketplaces. So hopefully they open that opportunity up. Low key, the last question was like, give me your lead, Salem. Should we still join the webinar if we're in the Discord already? Yeah, I mean, look, this webinar, we're hoping to provide as much value as we can. We're going to be going over a couple of different sourcing methods that we've never really discussed publicly. So, I think it'll definitely be worth your time at the very least. And if not, send me your Venmo and I'll Venmo you some coffee money. There is the webinar link. It's in the chat. I'll post it again if you guys want to join. We use DataSpark to scan wholesale sheets. DataSpark is great. They were the first real Walmart software, I would say. Them and Wally Smarter are the OGs. But the space has changed a lot. So I think it's still a growing space and new softwares are coming out. So definitely check out other ones, Martyr, Sellify, even if different areas in your business, and see which one fits into your workflow. I used to sell on Amazon FBA, but I'd not have any inventory. But I do have inventory on eBay. Do you think I can get approved to get my LLC?
You mean with your storefront? I mean, I know people that have got approved with eBay. So, if it's a brand new store and you don't have any sales history, it might be tough. But if you had some sale, even if you had a couple sales and you have a rating, I don't see a problem with it. I mean, if you get declined, you can open a case and find out why. Sometimes they're just slow to approve people to the platform. I know people that have got the denial email, and then 2 weeks later, they just were like, hey, we reviewed your case, because I believe they're doing all the approvals right now with a bot. And then that's why there's a lot of issues if you don't have your address and your EIN and everything 100% correct and matching. You will get an auto denial and you'll have to open a case, and it could delay, taking like another week or so. So just make sure all the data matches exactly as it is on your, I believe it's called an S4, and matches your resale certificate, matches all that good stuff, to try to get it approved as quick as possible.
He said yes, storefront. Okay, so how is private label doing in Walmart? Do you guys know anyone doing private label?
I do not. I'm trying to get some buddies over to the platform to do it. I think Tona FBA has his brand on there. I'm not sure, but I think it's doing good. They provide a lot of credits for Connect ads for their advertisements. I know they offered me $2,000 last month just in free ad spend. So if you do want to test out yours or that, it's a good time to do it as well.
For sure. It's actually you're also probably gonna have higher margins typically with private label, where ads and a lot of those tools would make sense.
For sure.
I'm also a VA from Pakistan, but I hired a person in the US to make him entrepreneur. And other ways around hiring. Wish me luck. Yeah, I mean, best of luck. If it works, it works. As long as it's above board and Walmart accepts it, you're good. Here to get rich. Any suggestions? Yes. Follow Sadiq Wahab on Instagram, Twitter, and every other social media, and you will be a millionaire.
Guaranteed. I thought he was already rich. I thought,
Yeah, he's always in my chat. He's always asking me how to get rich.
He's awesome.
We have 10 items private label on Walmart. Awesome. So how's that going? That's definitely a market that I'm not too familiar with. I know that Helium 10 and a lot of other softwares are looking to make that. But from what I've spoken to with a lot of private label people, as well as the owner of Bizmetrica, is that people don't really see it as a huge market. Like even people who are having success on Amazon, they just kind of list it on Walmart and that's it. There are definitely some brands that are successful, but I think by and large, it's not as big as Amazon.
I think the problem is, for me, like I see, like when I'm doing like Walmart to Walmart and I'm starting out like either doing pickup in store or I'm just scrolling through the best sellers, like there's so many best sellers that are private label. Now, you don't necessarily know how many sales that's getting. You can try to figure it out. You can try to click on it and see how many carts it's in or whatever. But I don't know if it's true private label in the fact of like they just took, it's like a variation of a product already available, either and a lot of the private label that looks to be successful to me has been in clothing or toys. So you see a lot of bestsellers in those categories. But again, if you put the time in, I mean, anything can be successful. You just have to take the time, do your research, make good decisions, make it happen.
Exactly. And also, Walmart is a growing marketplace. I know people who I spoke to 4 years ago who said that some of their categories, oh, it's not even worth it. There's no one on there. And then some of the people who I know that launched there, their items are now bestsellers. And like Joey said, that doesn't always mean 1,000 sales a day. They might be doing 20 to 30 sales a day, but as an additional marketplace to your Amazon, it never hurts. You don't have to go ahead and build out a whole team. It doesn't have to be a complete new avenue where you have to hire, double your employees and everything. It's marginal output to go ahead and get to maximize those results. And I think it's just another avenue that everyone should look into. Also, he said we sell more on Walmart than on Amazon for these items for the private label. So, like I said, I think it's a very untapped market, and I think
that's one of the things that we didn't really talk about. I think we talked about on the last call, like why sell on Walmart. Like in Q4 of last year, there were 150,000 sellers compared to 2.1 million on Amazon. So you're talking about 90% less competition. Obviously, that's grown a lot since Q4. I think they onboarded, I think at the summit, they were telling us that they anticipated that Q1, they anticipated onboarding like an extra 60%. So that went from 150,000 to probably 225, but they're nowhere near 500,000 sellers, and Amazon's growing. I think they're at like 2.3 now. So you still have 75% less competition. And I feel like most of the new sellers that I've seen, as far as third-party sellers, are going to the things that sold well in Q4, like toys. Like I saw a lot of listings that, last Q4 or earlier this year, you're talking 2-3 sellers. Now, in this past Q4, I saw like 20 sellers, 30 sellers on some of the stuff. But if you know the market and you do your research, you'll see that the toy category, 40% of its sales are in November, December. So unless you're just trying to run Walmart in Q4, you don't want to be super heavy in toys until that time of the year comes where it's going to move.
Yeah, and also I would say too, like the biggest thing for me is like I'm always actively trying to learn. And even when I started Amazon, I knew that there was going to be something else, right? And when I found Walmart, it kind of like synced together. But it was a big learning curve for me, especially 2 years ago. I kind of like brushed it off, didn't take it seriously. And once I started seeing the profit margin, started getting the sales, I kind of like stepped back from Amazon a bit and focused on Walmart. And now I'm kind of going back, whatever. But my point is like you never want to get content. Even if you're doing $1 million a month on Amazon, why not open up another marketplace, right? Best Buy is opening up in the summer. Maybe having an Amazon storefront and a Walmart storefront is going to expedite your chances of getting onto Best Buy, other platforms. Sky's the limit, and the more diversity you have, obviously, the better. And I think people just still get caught up on those orange bars, because we don't have that. But profit over everything. So
exactly. Interesting. Also enough, he said he's doing kitchen items. So I know a couple of other people, but when I started selling on Walmart, on Amazon back in I started in roughly about 2017. I was in my last year of high school, and I was looking for a way to go ahead and just make it rich. I was like, okay, I need get rich quick scheme. And the first thing I saw was how to sell salad bowl processors and taco stands on Amazon. And that's funny that now all of those, if you go to the private label section or that section on Walmart, there's tons of listings, and it's just a complete, life cycle from the Amazon marketplace to the Walmart. Those are the easiest items to get made. I'm not saying that this will also, sorry about favorite communications. I'm not saying those are your items, but it's just interesting that those were the items that were the easiest to get from Alibaba onto Amazon. And now the same items are the easiest to get onto Walmart. So I do think that the private label space and just in general, brand building on Walmart will grow as the marketplace grows. So Amazon didn't have the storefronts, they didn't have brand registry and all of that. And as they built it out, you were able to create more of a brand identity, carve out more market share. So that's definitely a space I'm going to keep my eye on. I don't know if it's going to be a something that I'll get into, but I think it will grow.
Well, yeah, and I mean, Walmart set themselves apart already with some of the things that they have that they rolled out, whether it's resold at Walmart, where you can sell refurbished items. They have a serial number match to protect people when they're returning. So, like if you buy, a refurbished laptop, but then you return a laptop with a different serial number, they're going to match it at WFS to protect you. They have the collectible program, which when they first rolled it out, there was 0% fees for the first 90 days, where you can sell, similar to eBay and some other stuff. You can sell graded comic books or sports cards or, Pokemon, like things that, I don't know that that's available on Amazon right now. They already have a brand portal on Walmart. They already have a specific section for high-end beauty where they tell you like, hey, but on the resold thing, you can also sell, like used clothing. You can sell designer handbags that you have in your closet. So like if you're looking for a way to create capital and you don't want to, go to eBay, or you don't want, there's avenues within Walmart to grow your capital and learn the platform at the same time. So I think in some ways they're going to set themselves apart for their offerings. They have, they just rolled out their keep it and partial keep it for their returns to help eliminate some of our costs on returns. They're working on a returns dashboard as well. There's just so many things that they are working on. I think the sad thing with them is they're just understaffed. So the faster they get staffed, the quicker things are going to happen.
Yeah. And they are definitely understaffed. They increased by nearly 500% in sellers, probably more. But they're growing. And like you said, with the collectibles is another thing. Is whenever they launch this, they go hard and they go. I recently saw someone posted on Twitter that Amazon's now offering new seller incentives, and that is something that they never did. I think maybe that's because of Walmart. Who knows? But Walmart, when they launch a program, they make it beneficial for you. They make it worth your while.
Oh yeah, I mean no storage fees for Q4 this year was insane. As long as you sent your product in before October, like that was a no-brainer. I mean, I think I dropped an extra $30,000 just trying to get inventory in before September ended.
Yeah, I just always like to think it's funny because I used to work at Walmart, when I was before college for 2 years unloading the truck, and now like we're selling on there. So like I'm always a Walmart supporter, low key, but there's a lot of opportunity for sure.
Yeah, buy the stock now.
Yeah, no, for sure. I bought it when it was at like 65. I think it was at 100 plus the other day. So it was a good
Salem's all in.
Good buy up. Yeah. Hey, if I'm gonna sell on there, might as well throw it in on the stock too.
I've never bought Amazon stock.
No, I would never buy Amazon stock either.
Time to buy Best Buy. Justin Harrison says those ungates taking years. Yeah, it's very random. I know did someone in your Discord get ungated in like 2 weeks? I don't know. Some people say it's taking like less than a week. I'm still sitting here for
about a month ago, and it lasted for about 3 days. Like,
dang.
But yeah, I mean, my last ungate took 2 months and 3 days.
Justin's one of my students, and he's been having a hard time ungate. Justin, I hope it gets ungated tomorrow morning when you wake up, bro. Let me know.
I will tell you this. Shout out to my boy Chad, but he gave us a little cheat code when he got approved for one brand. He responded directly to that approval email because it comes from an actual person on Walmart, and was successful getting like 2 or 3 more brands ungated from that same person within like the span of like 5 to 7 days. So if you do get an approval and it comes from an actual person, try to respond and reach out, because the emails that I've gotten are coming from actual people. Walmart, trust and safety team, and when I first got on the platform, I mean, their communication was way beyond anything you'd ever expect to get from Amazon.
For sure. That's something that I probably need to reach out. I have a whole collection of emails. I have like the international team just in case I need to reach out to someone. But yeah, I think I'm waiting on forgot what I'm waiting on, but it's like 3 months already. That's how long it's been. Yeah, so if you guys have any more questions, be sure to go ahead and fill them out down below. And I'm going to post the webinar link one more time. Again, just to say we're going to be doing a couple of more lives on YouTube, on Twitter, and everything as well. But this webinar is something where it's going to be pre-planned. It's not going to be like on YouTube or a third-party platform. We're going to be able to structure it in a way that we want to. We're going to be able to go ahead and show different ways. So we plan on showing different ways that we all source and going over like example leads, how to go ahead and to source different products, A to W, which is Amazon to Walmart, Walmart to Walmart. And there's a lot within Walmart to Walmart itself, online arbitrage, retail arbitrage. So we're going to be covering a lot. We're going to be going over the secret sauce, so to speak. Not to be cryptic or anything, but, we're going to be going over a lot of different ways to source. So we really hope to see you there. And yeah, we have some 3 GOATs. I guess that wasn't humble of myself, but I think Salem and Joey are fantastic Walmart sellers to learn from. So I'm really excited to go ahead and co-host this webinar with them.
Yeah, and if there's anything you guys are looking for, you can always feel free to DM us, and we'll try to get it on the agenda.
For sure.
Yeah, we really want to make this a user-focused webinar. So whatever you guys want to learn as well, be sure to go ahead and DM any of us. Looking forward to having you guys on a common platform. It really is interesting now that we're focused on Walmart. I think Amazon, shout out to Amazon for doing that. They kind of made this happen, but yeah, it's really interesting to see the Walmart space develop. Awesome. All right, guys, if you have any more questions, be sure to go ahead and leave them down below. I think we're going to wrap it up soon. Salem works full time, so he's got to be up. I know Joey's also doing RA runs at like 8 a.m., 7:30. But I sleep until 10, so I might be staying on a little bit longer.
I actually have to wake up at 2 a.m. to hit my flight, so it's going to be a short night for me.
Oh my gosh. How can you join your Discord? I believe that's in Salem's bio if you would like more information of that on his Twitter.
Drop a link real quick as
Sure.
well.
Awesome. Okay, guys. Thank you very much for everyone who tuned in. I don't know if the view counter is correct, but it says we got 15 on YouTube, 250 on X. That might be across like everything. But thank you to everyone who tuned in and for watching. We hope to see you guys on the webinar. And yeah, keep sourcing, keep crushing it on Walmart. We'll see you guys in the webinar. Thank you very much.
Have a
Have a great week.